Welcome back. Episode 7 of A Day in the Life of a Cowboy Fan who lives and works in Eagles country. Yes, Philly. Episode 7. And, it's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody out there, all the football fans, NFL fans. But, we had a game last night. And it was rough. I'll be honest with you. I'm still feeling the effects. I was a couple Long Island iced teas into the fourth quarter because, the Cowboys, it seemed like we were trying to give the game away. It seemed like we weren't trying to win the game. And they got a little stressful. So, I had a couple Long Islands, settled my nerves, and we pulled it through. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not too confident right now. That was rough. I felt like we should have beat that team 28-10 easily. Dak's interceptions, that hurt. And if you're Patrick Mahomes, you'd be sick seeing that play because the interception shouldn't have counted. Dak thought he had a free play because the defensive lineman was in the neutral zone. He was offsides. The same thing that happened to Patrick Mahomes' wide receiver. Difference is they called it on Patrick Mahomes' wide receiver, which, lost him the game. For us, they didn't call the defensive lineman offsides, whereas we thought they were. So we just tossed the ball up there, interception that we thought wouldn't count. It counted, and it went down. Everything started going downhill from there. So if I'm Patrick Mahomes, yeah, I'm hot because offsides you're gonna call in some games, and some other games you don't. Now let's be honest. The officiating this year has been horrendous, especially towards the Cowboys. I'm not saying this because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm saying this because it's been horrendous. Micah Parsons gets held every single play. Every play. And they never call it. Never call it. But they call little tic-tac plays like on us, when the defensive lineman saw offsides, and it could have been, another play for us, a free play. They don't call it. So when it comes to being a Cowboy fan, it can be rough, but I'm not even talking about the officiating crew. I'm talking about us, period. Sometimes I think it's hard being a Cowboy fan. I'm not going to lie to you. Whether it's Dak throwing bad passes, whether it's Mike McCarthy, I'm questioning what is he thinking, what is going through his head. I think, was it the 2-minute warning before halftime? We didn't run a play because we thought we can run down the clock for a 2-minute warning, but it was 1 second left before 2 minutes, and the play clock went down, so it was third and extra long at that point. It's like, Mike McCarthy, that's on you. What are you doing? To CeeDee Lamb, we're going to talk about CeeDee Lamb, but I really can't get mad at CeeDee Lamb. I can't. Without CeeDee Lamb, we're terrible. We're a terrible football team. Without CeeDee Lamb, we're a bad football team. Without CeeDee Lamb, we're not 12-5. What are we? 11-5. Without CeeDee Lamb, we don't clinch a playoff spot. Without CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott might be on a trading block. Without CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboy fans will be in a dark place, right? So while we're on the CeeDee Lamb topic, I said this months ago before the season. I say CeeDee Lamb is a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. And you know what? I was wrong. CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver in the NFL. The best. Right? Now, Tyreek Hill is the most dangerous weapon. But when it comes to the wide receiver position, CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver. Coming out of college, he was one of the top rated prospects for a reason. And people took that for granted. People forgot. And I'm here to run it back for you. Let's rewind in history. Coming out of college, Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb. It was between CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy, who's going to be the first wide receiver taken. Some scouts aren't as good as others. The first wide receiver was Henry Ruggs because he ran a 4.2. Go figure. The second wide receiver was Jerry Jeudy, which I thought he would be the number 1. And CeeDee Lamb was there at 17 for us. I'm like, oh, that's a steal. So we drafted CeeDee Lamb, right? And each year he has progressed and shown that he was the best wide receiver in that class. Now, he does have Justin Jefferson in that class with him. So it is some stiff competition. But CeeDee Lamb, he's never played a full season with his QB1. I said this months ago, before the season even started. Right? You can check on the podcast, check on the YouTube channel. It's there. He's never played a full season with Dak. Right? His first year, Dak got hurt. I think that's the year where Dak broke his ankle against the Giants. CeeDee Lamb played with 4 different quarterbacks that year, and he still almost eclipsed 1,000 yards. He had like 980 or something around that ballpark. Cool. Played good, though. He was playing second fiddle to Amari Cooper. Michael Gallup might have been number 2. CeeDee Lamb might have been the number 3 wide receiver. The following year, Dak gets hurt again. Now, I'm not sure if that's the year Amari left or did he leave the following year. I'm not sure. But Dak gets hurt again. He misses like 2 to 4 games. I can't remember how exact amount of games. CeeDee Lamb still gets 1,100 yards. And that's for playing with 2 to 3 different quarterbacks that year. His third year, which was last year, Dak misses a couple games again. CeeDee Lamb is officially the number 1 wide receiver on the Dallas Cowboys. He had 1,300 yards. And again, he didn't play the full season with his QB1. So I said before this season, I see the progression. I know the prospect come out of college. I see the routes. I see the yak, yards after catch, the tough catches, the toughness going across the middle, running those hard routes where you might get hit. He's capable of getting the reverses, playing running back. I see everything. And I'm like, yo, if Dak stays healthy, you can forget about it. Now, like I said, I was wrong. I said he was top 3. He's actually the best wide receiver. Dak has played every game thus far. We have 1 more game left in the season. As of right now, CeeDee Lamb leads the NFL in receiving yards. Now, will he still lead it after today's games on Sunday? Probably not. But as of right now, CeeDee Lamb has 1,651 receiving yards. That's 10 more receiving yards than Miami's Tyreek Hill. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill is going to get more than 10 yards. But the progression is going. Like I said, he went from 980 to 1,100 to 1,300. Yo, he could finish with 1,800 receiving yards. He could. It depends because Washington is not a good opponent. So if we're killing them, we're going to rest our starters for the playoffs. If we don't have a chance to win the NFC East or, improve our standings in the playoff picture, there's no reason to play our starters. So it all depends on what goes down today. If the Eagles can lose, if the Eagles are losing next week, if we have a chance to get the number 2 seed in the playoffs, if we have a chance to get the NFC East title, everything depends on how the rest of the games play out. But like I said, I'm here to talk about CeeDee Lamb. He is by far, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Cowboy fan. As of this year, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I understand Justin Jefferson was hurt. I understand Tyreek Hill was on pace to get 2,000 yards. I understand Devontae Adams runs really, really good routes. I understand A.J. Brown's a big bully wide receiver who can get open and has yak yards after catch as well. But none of those guys, in my opinion, now comment below your thoughts, is as dangerous, as elusive, as quick, as capable of making a hard catch, running every route in a route tree as CeeDee Lamb. Right? So, last night, CeeDee Lamb broke 2 of Michael Irvin's single-season club records, which he set in 1995. Those were total catches and yards. Now, Irvin had 1,603 yards back in 1995. That's when he broke the record. And guess what? That year, the Cowboys made it to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying nothing right now. I'm just letting you guys know. If you didn't know, the year Michael Irvin broke the single-season club record for receiving yards, they went to the Super Bowl. CeeDee Lamb just broke his record. We're 8-0 at home. I had no idea that I know we were really good at home, but it didn't register in my mind that, we went undefeated at home this year. Last night's win solidified it. 8-0 at home. That's the first time we had a perfect record at home since the 1980 and 81 seasons. Right? We're obviously playoff bound. We're 11-5. And we still have a shot for the NFC East title. It depends. We just need Philly to lose at least one game in these final 2 weeks. They have the Giants and the Cardinals. We need Kyler Murray to look like Oklahoma Kyler Murray. Kyler, please. This is all the Dallas fans are talking to you. You're a Texas boy too. So do it for the home state. Kyler, do your thing. Beat the Eagles. You know what I mean? Just do it for the... I know you was a Cowboy fan when you growing up. You from Texas. You had to be a Cowboy fan. I don't care what you say in the reports. I know you was a Cowboy fan. Go ahead and beat the Eagles for us, man. Jerry Jones hit you off with a couple dollars. Maybe the new Call of Duty. I know you like Call of Duty. So we have a chance to win the NFC East. If so, I think we'll be the number 2 seed. Because the 2 and 3 seeds as of right now, it was between the Lions and the Eagles. Like I said, the Eagles lose, we'll win the East. We'll win the East, so we're ahead of them. And we'll have the tiebreaker if there is one against the Lions. So we could potentially get the number 2 seed. Now the question is, do we want the number 2 seed? Right? And a lot of things factor into that. Because the 2 seed, obviously, will have home field advantage. And obviously, we're really good at home. We're undefeated. And we're not too good on the road. Right? So I'm trying to pull up the playoff picture as of right now. And see, do we really want the number 2 seed over the wild card spot? So the number 2 seed right now in the NFC, they'll play the number 7 seed. And that's the Seahawks. Right? So if the Eagles lose, we'll jump to 2. Right? And we'll play home against the Seahawks. Will we rather play home against the Seahawks or just chill out at the 5th seed and go into Tampa Bay and play the Bucks? Now that's tough. For multiple reasons, like I said, we're really good at home. But we're playing a Seahawks team who was capable of beating us. We beat them, obviously, a couple weeks ago. But I don't think Deron Bland wants any parts of DK Metcalf anymore, right? Do we want that matchup? Or do we want to go on the road against, in my opinion, I guess they're around the same team as in talent-wise. They have Mike Evans. And Mike Evans has been on the tear. If you bet Mike Evans anytime touchdowns in your parlays, you win a lot of money this year. You know, so if we're comparing squads, obviously I want us to be home. We're undefeated. But I'll be honest with you. I think I'd rather play the Bucks over the Seahawks. You know, it's hard to beat a team twice. And we squeezed by the Seahawks the first time we met them. We'll be home. We're good at home. But we beat the Bucks last year in the playoffs at their house. And they had Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's a little bit better than Baker Mayfield. But, you know, if you're going back and forth with rosters that we might have to play against, would you rather play against Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith? I think I'd rather play against Baker Mayfield. Would you rather play against Mike Evans or DK Metcalf? I think individual player, I'd rather play against Metcalf and not Mike Evans. But when it comes to the whole wide receiver core, I think I'd rather go against... Is Chris Godwin having a good season? I don't think he is. I think I'd rather play against that Buccaneers wide receiver core than the Seahawks wide receiver core as a whole. Running game, Kenneth Walker, or Rashad White. Rashad White, hey man, look, I still have nightmares about playing against the Bills, right? Playing against those elusive 3-down backs who can run routes, who can get open, dangerous weapons with the ball in their hands. Rashad White is just like that. Kenneth Walker is more of a bruiser, but I mean, unless we get a big dog Hankins back up the middle, the middle of our defense ain't looking too good as well. Shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence, though. Top 3 Cowboy, in my opinion. Shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence. I just thinking about the run defense, DeMarcus Lawrence is a beast. But, yeah, it's tough. Cowboys fan, comments below. Would you rather play home against a Seahawks team that we know can be dangerous, that we squeezed by before, and it's hard to beat a team twice? But, again, you'll have home field advantage until you meet the 49ers in the conference championship. Or would you rather just take the playoffs on the road? Play the Bucks. After the Bucks, you know, you might play you might have to play the 49ers next round. You might have to play a Detroit again. You might have to play the Eagles. Me, we're undefeated at home, which kind of scares me because that means we're due for a loss at the crib. But hey, when you're perfect at home, you might as well take that 100% chance to win because you're undefeated. So I don't know. Let's just talk about last night's game a little bit more, and then we'll get into this week's picks, game by game, and we'll wrap it up. It's like I said, it was episode 7 of A Day in the Life of a Cowboy Fan, and it was a tough game last night. Right, starting off, they drove the ball down easily, but we stopped them. They got a field goal, and then we wasn't looking too good either when we got the rock. But we avoided a safety. That should have been a safety. The linebacker, I think he was number 55 for the Lions. He might not have a job this upcoming week. You should have sacked Dak and got a safety, but you whiff. CeeDee Lamb did CeeDee Lamb things. Touchdown. Boop. 92 yards. I think that's the longest touchdown in Cowboys history, right? Receiving touchdown in Cowboys history. So now it's 7-3. And then, they scored. Montgomery scored. And then we kicked the field goal. So it was 10-10. Right? And the second half, I was like, are we trying to win the game? Our offensive line ain't looking too good, man. Tyler Smith, he got hurt, our left guard. Tyron Smith, man, you let Aiden Hutchinson, a second-year player, do you dirty. And steal. He did steal dirty as well. How both our tackles, who we pay good money for, are getting dead dirty by second-year players, right? Tyron Smith, I already got a little bone to pick with you because you always getting hurt. If it's time to hang him up, let's hang him up. You'll be in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. You'll be in the Hall of Fame. Your legacy is there. But if you ain't got it no more, let's go ahead and let us get draft a young pup. You hang it up, maybe become a coach. And you go down still in Cowboy history, especially winning the Super Bowl this year. On the other side, our right tackle, Terrence Steele, my guy. I know you got hurt last year. I know you was coming off an injury. But we paid you big bucks. I knew something was off when Hassan Reddick was killing you the first time we played the Eagles. You bounced back a little bit, but every once in a while, man, them defense ends, they be getting their money's worth on you. Like, they be going right past you. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. If you ain't got it, we gotta make moves because we trying to win the Super Bowl. Our center, Tyler Biadasz. Last week, low-key, you and the backup left tackle was the reason why we lost. All right, so I know last year you made the Pro Bowl. But hey, again, if you ain't the guy, step aside. We trying to win games. Right guard, best right guard in all of football. Probably my second favorite Cowboy. Second favorite Cowboy. Zach Martin. We ain't tripping on you, Zach. So, offensive line, we got to get it together because we have no run offense whatsoever. And we need a run offense to win the Super Bowl. Right? CeeDee Lamb can't do it all by himself. We need a run offense. So, offensive line coach, you better get things under control. Right? Another thing I want to talk about is special teams. Now, every once in a while, our special team coach, he pops up on the TV because we make a good special teams play. I'm here to tell you, stop putting that man on national TV. Because this is the second time that I called out. I'm on my couch watching the game on my TV with my wife, and I tell her, look, they about to do a fake on us, a fake punt. And it happens. How can I call out a fake punt and you're getting paid 6 figures to figure it out and you don't understand that they're going to fake this punt right here? And both times they converted. So right there's a problem. Our defense stops the opposing team and they get the ball right back because we're not smart enough to think like this may be a fake punt because they're desperate right now. The Eagles did it. And they just did it. Detroit did it last night, right? Another thing with our special teams, Sam Williams is a really good football player. He should get more snaps at the defensive end position. Why is he playing gunner? Because it looks good? Because it shows off he's an athletic player? No. Put a gunner out there. Put a skilled person out there who won't receive a flag, because Sam Williams has a lot of flags on special teams. Again, he's a really good defensive end. He doesn't need to be a gunner because he can break down like a skill position and make the tackle. He's getting down there, missing the tackle because that's not the skill he has. I understand he runs a 4-4. I don't care. I need a skill guy out there, safety, corner. I need them out there able to break down and tackle the punt returner. Another thing, when we're punt returning, when these guys are doing fakes on us, do not have wide receivers out there. There's no reason Jalen Tolbert should be out there covering gunners. Because if they do a fake, he doesn't have covering skills. Put Nashawn Wright out there. I don't care if you got to put Deron Bland out there, Stephon Gilmore out there. For now on, when the team is punting against us, have our starting corners out there so there's no more fake punts. I guarantee you, teams have seen this. They've been successful twice on the Cowboys this year, and they're going to do it again. That will lose us games. Clip this right here. A fake punt is going to lose us a playoff game, and potentially a conference championship, and even worse, a Super Bowl. Right? So that's a little rant I want to do on the offensive line and the special teams. Other than that, Dak had a pretty good game. He threw for over 300, 2 touchdowns. I'm happy. He's getting back to that MVP candidate that we thought he was. Will he win the MVP? I doubt it. I honestly think the MVP will go to Christian McCaffrey. That's pretty much it, because Tyreek Hill is not going to get 2,000 yards. So I think CMC might get the MVP. If not, if it has to go to quarterback, I mean, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, they look really good out there, but I don't think his stats, his numbers is good enough to get the MVP. Brock Purdy just threw for 6 interceptions this past week, so he's out of the race. Jalen Hurts, he's top 3 when it comes to all turnovers, interceptions, and fumbles combined, so he's out of there. I mean, if we being honest, if they don't want to give it to a non-quarterback player, Dak might still have a chance, but I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about us getting to a conference championship and getting to the Super Bowl, right? But Dak had a good game last night. Like I said, Brandon Cooks, he scored a game-winning touchdown. CeeDee Lamb doing CeeDee Lamb things. TP, man, I don't know, dog. Whatever contract we offered you last year, you should have took it, because I'm not saying it's your fault. Maybe it's the offensive line fault. Maybe it's the offensive scheme, the OC. I don't know. But you ain't getting yards, and it ain't looking too good for you. You might, I don't know what kind of contract you're going to get, right? Defense side of the ball, Micah Parsons, fantastic. DeMarcus Lawrence, fantastic. Stephon Gilmore, fantastic. Deron Bland, man, you fell off a little bit. Let's be honest. You fell off a little bit. After Metcalf torched you, yeah, you got to pick after he got done torching you towards the end of the game. But, yeah, we need Trayvon Diggs back, and we need to throw you back in the slot. You're still a really good player. I just don't think you're ready for that primetime CB1 Stephon Gilmore Defensive Player of the Year type of role. But you are very good, right? Safeties, y'all did y'all thing. Linebackers, pretty good. We need Big Dog Hankins back at the nose tackle position, because these teams run the rock on us. So we got to stop that, especially come playoff time. Right? So, overall, we did not play winning football. Besides CeeDee Lamb and Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, and Stephon Gilmore, we did not play championship football last night. Right? The fact that we were up by 4 points. No, we were up by a touchdown, and we let that team drive the ball down with a minute and some change left to score, and then disrespect us and try to go for 2 to win the game. Right? They were victorious in doing that. Guy comes in the game, didn't say he was eligible receiver. I'm not getting into that. You know, all I'm saying is, if I was a Lions fan, I'll be sick, because y'all should have won that game. I would be sick. I would be sick if I was a Lions fan. Low key, y'all won that game, but I ain't gonna tell nobody. Game over, we got the dub, right? They went for 2, they got it, flag. Second time, they go for 2 again. That's really disrespectful. You go for 2 again. God told you, yo, kick the extra point, go to OT. You said, nah, this team is not good. That's what y'all basically said to us. Y'all go for it again, bam, sack, Micah Parsons. Yeah, Micah Parsons sack, offsides. He was offsides. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, realist fan. I'm not, I'm a real fan. Third time, you still want to go for 2? Yeah, God, wrap this game up. Game over, we won. Right? So, like I said, it was a tough game. It was tough to watch. The whole game, I'm sitting, mind you, I started watching the game at a Texas Longhorn Steakhouse with my wife. We was eating dinner. Our waiter was a Lions fan. He doesn't know I'm a Cowboy fan. But he's like, he kept saying, coming back to the table, yeah, yo, we might get him tonight. Trying to have a conversation with me to get, a good tip. I'm like, yo, you hustling backwards, buddy. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm not trying to hear no Detroit Lions good news or y'all make a play. I'm not celebrating with you. You hustling backwards. You might not get a tip, right? So we started the game out in the restaurant. We go home, we watching the game. Yo, it was sick to my stomach watching that game. I was like, we're not going to win anything playing like this. Whether it's the coaching, the time management, not knowing the 2-minute warning, ill-advised passes, fumbling on the 1-yard line. But hey, that's CeeDee Lamb. If anybody can fumble on the 1-yard line, it's him. Anybody else, you're off the team. CeeDee, you can fumble on the 1-yard line because I know you're gonna get it back. Over 200 receiving yards. You're gonna get it back. But it's just not championship football, dude. Like, I don't understand what's going on. We had to get it. We got to get it picked up. I mean, it was the win that we needed because we're still alive for the NFC East. We just need the Eagles to lose. But going into the game, I think I said in the last podcast, I was like a 7.2, being an overall Cowboy fan. Heading to the game, I had like an 8.3 confidence meter ranking of if we were win or not. We won. We barely won. My confidence ranking as of right now, it was a 7.2 prior to the game. Post game, dude, I'm still like 7.5. I'm not sold right now. I'm nervous. We got to be able to stop the run. We got to be able to run the ball. And CeeDee Lamb can't do everything by himself. So, I don't know, man. We'll see what it is. But let's just go through these games real quick for your parlays out there. And day in the life of a Cowboy fan who lives in Philly, works in Philly, Eagles country. What picks do we have today, right? So, Cleveland, New York, that game's already over. Cleveland killed them. Detroit, Dallas, we won by 1 point. We didn't cover the spread. It is what it is. New England, Buffalo, I got Buffalo. Atlanta, Chicago, I'm going with Chicago. Raiders, Colts. That's a tough game right there. Raiders, Colts, I'm going to go Colts. Giants, Rams, I got Rams. Arizona, Philly, I think Philly will win. I would like to see Arizona win so we can win the NFC East, but I think Philly edged them out. Saints, Tampa Bay, I got the Bucks. Washington and San Fran, I'm going San Fran. Carolina, Jacksonville, I'm going Jacksonville by 100. Baltimore, Miami, that's a very good game. I need Baltimore to win because I had, a future parlay where I had Baltimore winning the AFC and 49ers winning the NFC. So I need Baltimore to win. Will they win? I think so because Miami barely beat us last week. So I got Baltimore. Baltimore killed 49ers. And the 49ers been killing everybody else. Tennessee, Houston, I'm going with Tennessee. If CJ Stroud was not hurt, I will go. Stroud was still hurt, right? Comment below. I will go Stroud, but he's still hurt, so I'm going Tennessee. Pittsburgh, Seattle, I'm going Seattle. Denver, Chargers, I'm going Chargers. Bengals, Chiefs, I'm going Chiefs. Vikings, Green Bay, I'm going Green Bay. And that's going to do it. We're going to wrap up this episode. Comment below again your thoughts on last night's game. Comment below your favorite team and your confidence ranking of your favorite team. But see you guys next time.